Hey, I'm Mike, and this is part 2 of my ReBoot review. So if you haven't tuned in to the first part yet, please go back and watch that video first. Then come right back. And don't worry, I'll keep the tub warm for you. Alright, let's talk about what happened after Season 3 wrapped up. What was it? Billions of years ago in 1997? Well, nothing happened actually. Nothing happened for a very long time. Many of us went on with our lives, some got jobs, others kissed girls, but some of us continued to sit there, staring at that blank TV set, wishing, hoping, praying for more ReBoot. No matter which of us you were still thinking about it. We were all anxious for more. And despite having been given the gift of the most kick-ass ending in the history of kick-ass endings. Sure, everyone died and then everyone came back to life, but the show went full circle. It was, well, rebooted. So I bet you're wondering, especially if you've never watched the show, where can the series go after this? The makers of ReBoot intelligently put in a secondary story arc in Season 3 that was much bigger than the one they had already in place. Season 3 dealt with finding and saving Mainframe, a single computer, but in real life, when your computer gets a virus and suffers a major malfunction and crashes, and is then repaired, does it become invincible? No. Chances are, you'll have another virus, a worse virus to deal with. And who knows, maybe you're not the only one. What if it's a worldwide super virus? And what if your computer holds the key to saving the entire network of computers? And so begins the first DVD movie, Daemon Rising, that appeared in 2001. See, what made this movie so great is that it takes the stakes to a higher level. Season 1 merely dealt with a standard offline computer, dealing with small problems like the user playing deadly games that manifested in the form of non-Nintendo GameCubes. Season 2's troubles began when Mainframe went online and the internet forced in web creatures which made standard viruses seem, well, not so bad. And Season 3 was all about exploring the internet. ReBoot became Stargate. And it's actually pretty funny, the show and the two movies contain an actual Stargate prop that, makes portals. So Mainframe is just one world among many. They even worked in a backstory where the Stargate caused the birth of Megabyte and Hexadecimal and the destruction of Mainframe's twin city. In other words, there were 2 hard drives before the show ever started, and one went kablooey. Actually, the same thing happened to my computer like 2 years ago, and I'm still kind of really pissed off about it. Freaking $100. So the problems of the show had just become system-wide. Daemon, the super virus, mentioned in Season 3 while Matrix was fighting the web searching for home, has infected all the world's computers and has converted all the Guardians. Bob is now the only Guardian left uninfected, and as it works out, he's the only one that still has his key tool. Which means Daemon needs to invade Mainframe and get Glitch Bob in order to access all the hidden parts of the internet, as Guardians are the only ones that could create portals in the network. So things blow up, love triangles get explored, and we're given deeper plot points, such as the argument that a controlled system run by a dictatorship is more peaceful than a free democratic society and should be welcomed by all. Pretty deep, huh? Who knew ReBoot could get deeper than protection and revenge as its main plot points? Of course, it becomes apparent that the real motive behind the usual take over the universe shtick is to destroy it entirely. Daemon's a virus, therefore I can buy this turn of events. I'll skip ahead since you'd rather hear my thoughts than get a full recap. Everyone except Enzo is infected. Blah blah blah. Hexadecimal fights Daemon because she becomes insane again. Blah blah blah, but very cool. Enzo uses his antivirus to cure his friends. Blah blah blah. Daemon becomes code and starts a net-wide countdown to bye-bye town. Blah blah blah. Hexadecimal uses the Stargate, the portal, and became a healing virus and travels everywhere, uninfecting the system and dying in the process. Blah blah blah. Another Bob arrives while Glitch Bob is proposing to Dot and says, insert famous catchphrase, "I don't think so." The end. So far so good? You happy? I'm very happy. We got a serious plot point addressed and resolved a cliffhanger to boot. I love cliffhangers. Even Stallone's cliffhanger was pretty cool back in the day. Is there anything wrong with this? Well, I was kind of hoping the Daemon Supervirus War would span more than just one film. She was a really powerful, interesting, and unusual villain. She was well-mannered, likable, smoking hot, godlike, kind of like... Aw, snap! We got that in Stargate recently, didn't we? And didn't that end in a made-for-TV movie as well? Ah yes, it did. Reboot came first, so Reboot gets 2 thumbs up. Stargate, yeah. Did both resolve the problem with a simple one push of a button device solution? Yes, they did. I call that the Death Star small thermal exhaust port syndrome. It's not a bad thing, I guess. Kind of the opposite of the whole war in Iraq situation whereby capturing Saddam didn't really do much. So now things have changed in Reboot. Now we're given a second movie that felt like the polar opposite of the first. We're talking Kill Bill Volume 1 compared to Kill Bill Volume 2. So all the action is now talky. And interestingly, I was amazed to find the show in a state of what's old is new again. GameCubes became the focus and there was no villain at all, just a love triangle. But did it work? I think so. It was pretty campy, just like the original Ninja Turtles. High fives all around. But, and here's the huge but, many critics panned the second movie saying that Reboot has become a parody of itself. Let me explain. The show's humor always came from taking what we recognized in pulp culture and paying tribute to it. Reboot parodied everything and anything from Indiana Jones to Evil Dead to Star Wars to James Bond to Austin Powers and even the Power Rangers. Critics loved how versatile the show was. And it was a fruitful series that didn't need the complex plots to be loved. Fans would have been happy to just keep on seeing non-Nintendo GameCubes drop on Mainframe and continue to be part of sibling rivalries between Megabyte and his sister Hexadecimal. That would have kept Reboot stagnant. Hold on a second. Now we're back to square one. Not even a virus to be seen, just a whole which Bob will Dot marry situation. Though credit is due because the issue was deep, which was, what makes you a real person? See, we had a copy in there and no one knew who it was. One looked perfect and gave off pure nostalgia, while the other looked, well, you know, kind of shiny and had baggage from all the war. So surprise, surprise, Dot goes with good-looking Bob, blah blah blah. Glitch Bob tries to change who he is, fails, goes into a coma soap opera style. Dot prepares to marry Hunky Bob, blah blah blah. Glitch Bob gets out of his coma just in time for the speak now or forever hold your peace part of the ceremony. Handsome Bob turns out to be Megabyte, back from the web, able to morph and seriously ugly. Fighting happens. Megabyte says it was all done for his personal amusement. Blah blah. Wait a damn second? Personal amusement? Huh? He already destroyed Mainframe once and pretty much killed everyone. Why come back and laugh your ass off? It doesn't make any sense. Where's his army? Huh? What? No army? Okay, he makes a new army. Are we scared? No. We just fought a super army recently. What's Mega Breath want now? Oh, to get the Stargate and go to the supercomputer. Wasn't that already infected? Yes, it was, by a super virus. Then Megabyte changes his mind again, takes over the principal office. What's he want now? Oh, interesting. He gives a speech saying, there is no plan, only revenge. Huh? You killed everyone before. What is there to avenge? That you ran away and everyone died and then got reincarnated? So yeah, then the movie ends on a cliffhanger, which wasn't as good as the movie Cliffhanger, more like a movie called Man Hanging on Cliff. Skip forward, it's been 7 years since the credits rolled. So were the critics right about the second movie? Sadly, yes they were. But was it still a good movie? Oh yeah, because the characters and their personalities were phenomenally done and stayed true to their roots, just like the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Crappy plot, great turtles. Man, I love Mikey. So now you're all wondering, is that the way it was meant to go down? Actually, no. There was a third movie planned, along with a second musical that got scrapped. Why? Well, aside from production-related reasons, where the hell do you go from here? No matter what you do, you're going in circles. You're literally damned if you do, damned if you don't. That being said, I love the show so dearly that against my tingling spider sense, I need a sequel. Heck, maybe I'm just so unoriginal I can't imagine a great way to breathe new life into the show. But even if the sequel was only able to tie up the old storyline, I'd be happy. So I've waited and waited, and now I'm hearing all about this talk of a revival. And I'm sure you all want to know what I think. So you're going to have to tune in to part 3.